thank you everyone for being here. We have an incredible person with us tonight, Diana Adams. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm going to say a few things about you and then we will have lots to talk about. They're a lawyer and founder of the Chosen Family Law Center, where all families are deserving of equal rights and recognition. Diana is a leader in legal support of LGBTQ plus families, as well as a leader in support of polyamorous and non-traditional families. Diana has won several awards for their activism and legal work nationally and internationally. And Diana was raised by a wonderful mother, whom we will talk about tonight, and is also a mother, which we will also discuss. I think the best place to start, Diana, is with your own mother, because I was blown away by your story about your mother, and I know you have some examples as well. So tell us about your mother.
Thank you. My dearly departed mom, Pat, passed away 5 years ago, and she was just a cornerstone of teaching me what love could be. This is a photo of her from my childhood while I talk about her with my dear
Oh,
dad as well.
oh, that's
Um,
so sweet.
and very, very early 80s in our fashion. And she was just such a gentle spirit and really taught me as a mother about unconditional love and support for who I would be. She grew up, very working class, quite poor. And she was in the Air
Wow.
Force and met my father in the Air Force in the 1950s. And her dream, was always to maybe have been in a more affluent family. She worked many working class jobs, long hours, so that I could have the opportunity to go off to Yale, go to gifted programming rather than work as a waitress, so that I'd be able to get into a school like Yale.
Yeah.
And after that, instead of marrying my rich, handsome boyfriend in college, I chose to be a broke artist for a while and start a nonprofit and meander around. And that was presumably really difficult for her in terms of what she might have expected for me or dreamed of for me. But she
Mhm.
really identified that my dreams were mine, and she was there to incubate me and not make me just a replica of her. My parents both came from a very conservative background, didn't know anything about LGBTQ issues. But
Yeah.
as before I had come out as queer, I was already drawn to the drama club kind of world,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
knew several boys who ended up being gay. Um,
Yeah.
and her first exposure to LGBTQ issues was me saying, his parents found out, and they told him they might disown him, and a 13-year-old boy in the snow kind of thing in upstate New York, where's he
Wow.
gonna go? So
Yeah.
just took people in, took kids in, took lots of different children in. She had an open door policy that all children were welcome for dinner. And
Wow.
there were multiple kids that would just show up at dinner time, always welcome. And I've had a number of people tell me that they don't think they would have made it through high school without her, particularly LGBTQ kids. I really honor in my mom, Pat,
Yeah.
and also that I tried to recreate in my own life. And
Yes.
here in the community in New York City, I felt like I was really, I had this wonderful core of my loving mother and parents, um,
Yeah.
but also left this conservative town and came to New York City, didn't have
Yeah.
connections to jobs or money or how I was supposed to live here, and felt just really welcomed. And that
Hmm.
I tried to then be for other people. So there were two different young men who were, gay, queer, runaways in their
Yeah.
late teens who were houseless, and I took in over the years
Yeah.
and just thought, well,
Wow.
this kid is gonna be on the couch whenever they
Hmm.
want to be, and
Yeah.
who are still in my life. And so
It's
I
amazing.
feel like I've been mothered, and I continue mothering.
You're a mother to many people in New York City and also nationally, if not internationally. And I'm curious about your trajectory and the work that you do and how it's built over the years. And where did you start out and what were your intentions and what happened? And
I knew I wanted to do social action kinds of law. And
always,
first job, I always knew I wanted to do something related
yeah,
to positive, change the world kind of energy. And
yeah,
also wanted to find where I fit in. And I found the world of doing LGBTQ family law because I was involved in the world of queer nightlife myself, and there were remarkably few services, only a
Yes.
handful of lawyers doing that kind of work, and particularly only with same-sex couples. So there
Hmm.
wasn't
Yeah.
anything happening as much with the world of polyamorous families, the world of platonic partnerships, which are
Yes.
more and more common. It's been really beautiful in my life to uplift these other kinds of connections.
Hmm.
I am not anti-marriage. I am very happily married. And I think we've really, with the idea of it takes a village to raise a child, we have just replaced that village with paid
Yeah.
help when we can afford it,
Right.
and most of us can't. And then we
Right.
exist in this world of kids who are
Oh.
on a screen, as mine is right now in the other room
Mhm.
before
Yeah.
her dad gets home. And then also just, these memes of like mom's exhausted and is in the bathroom drinking wine, ha ha ha, all the moms are having breakdowns. It doesn't have to be that way. We can
Yes.
be existing with
Oh,
greater support and care. And that's something
great
that
model.
I'm passionate about with chosen family, and uplifting those other kinds of relationships that don't get celebrated. People, I think sometimes, even though the vast majority of us are not actually living in a heterosexual monogamous nuclear family, we may have a story in our heads that we're doing it wrong if our
Mhm.
core relationships
Right.
are our sister or our best friend or our mother, and we're
Yeah.
not. Right? I feel deeply grateful to be able to uplift these kinds of stories, to give people a sense of feeling dignity in whatever kind of
Mhm.
family they're in.
Yeah.
And also, I want to be a beacon of support for other queer people who feel isolated in
Hmm.
particular, and in
Yes.
general for people who feel isolated. 38% of American adults do not live with a romantic partner and may
Hmm.
consider somebody who's not a romantic partner as their closest family person. And a
Yeah.
lot of those people feel very, very left out. The way
Yeah.
that a lot of people who are in same-sex couples may feel left
Hmm.
out, right?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
polyamorous people may feel left out. So it can be strange bedfellows of realizing you have this commonality.
How does your family, your extended family, deal with the work that you do, the success that you have?
I have a wonderful, sparkly 8-year-old. It is sometimes annoying to have a mommy who works a lot. But my kid, there have been a few times where I'm late for pickup or something, and my kid's like, okay, sometimes it's annoying that, mom is busy, but is really also has noticed the moments when people have come up to me on the street and thanked me, and those have made a bigger impact. So there's the mom guilt of like I'm busy a lot,
Yeah.
but then
Yeah.
actually my child does have some pride about that,
Hmm.
about the work that I do.
Yes.
I will say being out about being polyamorous and being queer has been alienating from some of my family of origin.
Oh.
I came out as polyamorous in media in 2008,
Hmm.
and
Yep.
my favorite uncle at the time hasn't spoken to me since.
Wow. Oh,
That is a
sorry.
reality of, as a queer
Yeah.
person, many of us experience some level of family rejection. And so I have experienced some kinds of family
Yeah.
rejection. But, my
Hmm.
parents were amazing. I do have sweet aunts and uncles who are
Yeah.
supportive. And then I've also built, I really love the balance of having that biological family and then
Yeah.
chosen family of people who may
Yeah.
relate to other experiences of me. And I think that's
Yeah.
something that many queer people can relate to. It is such a frightening time to have an LGBTQ child in this world.
Yeah.
The best way we can care for kids is by being affirming of who they are, and also making sure that we're honoring everyone's human dignity whenever possible. As a parent, as somebody, whether you're an actual biological parent to an LGBTQ child, or whether you are a chosen adult, a grown up in that child's
Yeah.
life, being a beacon, being
Mhm.
somebody who's just an advocate for kids and trying to be the
Yeah.
kind of person that children could feel safe coming to, being as affirming as you can within your community. And
Yeah.
so, and being that positive and loving voice is just tremendously helpful.